Hey everybody, welcome to episode 10 of What Not to Miss with Chris. As you know by now, my goal each week is to put out quick, relevant content that explains the why behind the what in order to positively impact the freight community. On episode 9, I focused on why the upcoming holiday season will differ from the past two. Today, I want to talk about why we are seeing huge spikes in new home builds, how it has already affected the freight market, and how we're anticipating it affecting the freight market moving into next year.
To start, let's take a look at total residential construction spending year over year and current building permit levels for this year. As of the end of October, total residential construction spending has returned to pre-COVID levels, is currently showing growth of 14% year over year, and is sitting very near all-time highs. The drastic swing, of course, COVID-related, which had a radical effect on consumer confidence, causing a significant drop in March, which persisted until May of this year when we started to see an increase. In similar fashion, building permits in January went from pre-housing market crash highs to a 5-year low over a 3-month period. That's a 31% decrease in that 3-month time frame. We had not seen this kind of decrease since 2008, and even then, it took 7 years for building permit levels to recover. We recovered this year in around only 90 days, and as of October, we were sitting at levels at which we had not seen in over a decade. Now let's talk about how this has affected the freight market thus far, and try not to focus too much on these spikes as they represent the 4th of July holiday when a significant number of trucks are parked. As you can see, these are the same two charts we talked about on the last slide. However, they are now both being compared to the Flatbed Outbound Tender Rejection Index for all of the U.S. The Flatbed Outbound Tender Rejection Index represents the amount of tendered flatbed freight that has been rejected by contracted carriers. Some of the most significant commodities that affect flatbed demand are building materials. And as the demand for building materials collapsed at the beginning of the pandemic here on both sides, so did the amount of freight contracted flatbed carriers were rejecting, ultimately causing extreme rate per mile suppression. On the flip side, as building material demand began to significantly increase in the third quarter, so did flatbed rejection percentages, which ultimately have led to an increase in rates per mile, especially right now as they're hovering around February 19 levels. All right, so shifting gears here. An interesting data set to evaluate when thinking about the future of the freight market are single-family housing starts. And similarly to building permits and total residential construction spending, single-family housing starts saw a short but significant drop-off here at the beginning of the year, followed by a huge ramp-up to levels, here this is 29% growth year over year. This is an October reading here, to levels unseen since April of 2007. So why is paying attention to this kind of information relevant when we are considering the future of the freight market? Because it's a future indicator of sale items for all the stuff that goes into filling those homes during and after completion. From fireplace inserts, vanities, HVAC units, general appliances like refrigerators, to furniture and electronics like TVs. All of these items at one point or another will make their way onto a truck before reaching the end user. And as these homes get closer to completion throughout 2021, we'll see an increase in demand for all of the filler items I mentioned previously, which should have a direct impact on freight volumes.
If this information has been beneficial to you, please like, share, or leave a comment. And if you have a topic that you'd like me to discuss on future episodes, please feel free to reach out to me. And until next time, I'm Chris Seeds, and this has been another episode of What Not to Miss with Chris.